Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann now. She's a Tea Party star and is now talked about as a possible presidential contender. Congresswoman, welcome.
Hi, Carol. Thank you.
Hi. We're glad you're here. I'd like for you to listen again to what we just heard from Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, because his allegation is very specific. So listen.
The issue does not deal with the number. It's nice. It's good for you to try to switch the debate. The debate has nothing to do with the number. It has everything to do with women's health. That's the only issue that was left undone when we left the White House last night.
Of course, Congresswoman, he's talking about the defunding of Planned Parenthood and the abortion. Nancy Pelosi is also talking. She's calling the GOP budget a war on women. As a woman, how do you respond to that?
Well, I think that it's a very different perspective, because as a woman, I'm a mother of 5 children. I've also been a mother to 23 foster children. I believe in life and in the protection of innocent life. And so I believe the Planned Parenthood does have a problem when it comes to the acceptance of government grants. They are $1 billion a year operation, $350 million of which comes from federal government grants. There's a lot of people that have moral problems with that, and I think it's difficult to force people to violate their conscience to send that money to Planned Parenthood. Again,
Congresswoman, I'm sorry to interrupt, but Senator Reid said it's all boiling down to this one issue. Planned Parenthood could throw a wrench into everything. Does it boil down to this one issue?
Well, not according to John Boehner. If you look at John Boehner's statement, he said that the policy riders, which would include Planned Parenthood, have already been resolved. So we're hearing 2 very different messages. John Boehner said the policy issues have been resolved. I would take John Boehner at his word. He's not going to say something that isn't true. And also, he said that it's down to money difference. He had mentioned that they're down to about $6.5 billion difference. In a $3.5 trillion budget, a $6.5 billion difference is not a large difference. I actually am positive about the fact that I think the 2 sides will come to agreement. Now, for me, I have felt from the beginning that this is a very small ball arena. I thought that they should actually be fighting over larger issues like the defunding of Obamacare. They chose not to do that. And so I won't be able to vote for this budget bill because I think it spends too much and it doesn't attack the defunding of Obamacare. But I do think that both sides, in all likelihood, will reach an agreement today.
So members of the Tea Party who are very against the funding of Planned Parenthood, would they be happy with that issue being pulled off the table to come up with some sort of deal?
I think there are people who will be unhappy with it. I'm unhappy with it. I won't be able to vote for this deal. But again,
if that issue is pulled off the table, you won't be able to agree to a budget deal. That one issue.
I won't be able to agree to the budget deal because I said very early on that we need to have bigger spending cuts and we needed to defund Obamacare. That's the stake in the ground that I put in. We aren't even touching Obamacare in this bill, and so I can't vote for it. I can't speak for the other members, what they'll be doing, but John Boehner needs to deliver 218 votes, and I think that the 2 sides are close enough now that I think he'll be able to do that again. I disagreed from the beginning. I believe that we needed to have a bigger fight. We didn't have that, so I can't give my vote.
But why not wait until, why not fight over the 2012 budget and have that bigger fight then as opposed to now?
Well, Carol, I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I think you will see the bigger fight in 2012 because there are a lot of big issues, including the defunding of Obamacare, Planned Parenthood, but also getting at the real problem with the budget, which are all of the entitlements that need to be reformed. We're looking at Social Security and Medicare on shaky ground. They need to be shore up. They need to be made secure and safe so that people can rely on them. On the current budget, they can't. And so that's where the fight will be, I think, in 2012.
And just a last question, because there are voters out there who blame the Tea Party for the mess that we're in now over the budget. They say that they're throwing a wrench into things, a wrench that doesn't need to be thrown. How do you respond to them?
Well, the truth of the matter is it's actually, unfortunately, Harry Reid, because he and Chuck Schumer and Howard Dean said last week that they wanted to see the federal government shut down, and they planned to blame the Tea Party. So that was their political strategy from the very beginning. They have to own their words. They want to see the government shut down, and so I ultimately don't think it will today. I think that it actually will stay open. And then the big fight that we need to have will come in the 2012 budget.
Congresswoman Bachmann, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Carol.